so here's what's going on. We just finished our site visit, and now I've got the floor plan. It's all drawn up. I made a copy of it. I'm gonna give it to Derek. We're gonna go through, we're gonna pick and pull. Picking is when we go through and like literally pick every single item that's gonna go into this house. Pulling is when we pull the accessories off the shelves and put them onto the table that's gonna be accessorizing this house. So we'll start off with picking, then we'll go to pulling. So Derek, this is Derek. He's in charge of our warehouse here. We're gonna go through and take a look at this project and figure out what the heck we need. Okay, so first, why don't we go over to the computer, look at the photographs real fast, just so we have a good memory of what we just saw at the site visit. Okay, so this house on the exterior is like a charcoal gray with a blue undertone, and then we've got this beautiful gold door. And I think as we go in, as we're entering this space, if we pull this front living room, dining room, kitchen area, and we mimic this gold, that's gonna make it feel really cohesive. And then as we travel back into the rest of the spaces, we can transition into that pink and the blue. And then this actually has like almost like a little ADU. It's like a little office in the back space. And we can then tie the navy blue. This is that back space. So if you go through the bedroom, you can go through this sliding glass door and it will take you to this back space over here that we'll look at in just a second. And when we get back into there, so this is that outdoor patio area, we're gonna have that dining room set, and then this is that back space for the office. We get back there, tie in this navy blue, black and white that's gonna go with the beautiful exterior of that little shack back there. And then we've got this cool whiteboard that's in here that makes this space like feel very office-y. All right, so we just looked at those pictures. Now we're gonna head off into the warehouse and pick, and then we're gonna pull right after that. Let's go. All right, so are we tagging in green on this one? Okay. So we pick a color of tape that we're gonna use. Oh, we forgot to number our rooms. Let's do that first. All right, so on our floor plans, we always do number 1 is the living room, number 2 is the dining room, number 3 is the kitchen. Then we do the bedrooms, number 4 and number 5. We'll go queen is 4, twin is 5. We'll do the office as number 6. The bathrooms are always just a B, and then outdoor is always an O. We say numbering the rooms, but we use letters too. So, all right, let's go through. We'll start off with the living room. Cool. It's a good sized living room. We're gonna try and show that they can watch TV in this space because we have a family that's out. This is like on Northeast 75th, and I think TV is gonna be important to these folks. They might have young kids because it's just a 2-bedroom, but we're gonna throw twins in there. Cool. So I think this sofa is going to work. So I'm gonna mark this with the number 1, and I'm gonna take this piece of tape, I'm gonna put it onto the sofa so that people know that that sofa is gonna go into room number 1. We try to do all of our thinking in the warehouse and then all of our action outside in the shop itself. So from here, we're gonna go take a look at the armoires or low boys. To go in this space. This guy'd be cute, yeah, with that. So that's gonna be number 1 as well. Try to always underline our numbers because things get turned upside down and all of a sudden 6s look like 9s and things get super confusing. We had an off-white sofa, so we can go with those. We can go with those black guys right there. Those will look kind of cool. And then we've got this super duper dark low boy, and then these 2 leather black chairs that would look cool together, yeah? What do you think? All right. I always ask Derek, you know what Derek says? He always says, yeah, it's a good idea. It's really, really great, boss. You're a genius, man. I don't think so. Hard work makes up for a lot of lack of talent. All right, so we're gonna need a coffee table in this space. I think it's gonna have to be round because it is such a tight space. I want to be able to walk around it. Oh, those are our new tables. So we ended up getting way too many coffee table tops for these tables, and so we ordered these really chunky hairpin legs. I didn't want them to look too mid-century modern, but I thought that the chunky ones with the 3rd piece on the leg looked a lot cooler. So those actually might work in this space, but I'm thinking that I have no idea what this guy looks like on the other side. I'm thinking it's this guy below him. Cool. All right. That'll be number 1. So as we go through and we do this, I'll take and I'll just put a dot on each item that's been pulled, so that, or I'm sorry, that's been picked, so that I know that it's done. And that way I don't have to think about it anymore. So we're gonna want this space to have a rug. So I'll come back here. Oh, it's all lit up like Christmas. It's so nice. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Most of the stuff that we pulled in there is pretty dark, and the walls are medium gray. So how about if we just go with a white rug on this one? I don't think that there's an awful lot of rugs on this space. We really just have like the office and this space. So we'll do the office at the same time. That office is pretty darn small, but I want to warm it up a little bit in there. These bottom guys are 8x12s, right, Derek? Okay. Let's do something a little bit more corporate-y in the office. So we'll do it just a bit of a lower nap on that guy. And we should be good to go on there. All right, cool. So let's go back to soft chairs, and let's pick 2 more chairs for that office. Do you want to go with a navy blue office?
Yes.
All right, and then we're gonna need a low boy in the office as well. And something not quite as big. And actually, you know what? If we switch these and we do this more office-y looking one, then we can do this guy, and he can kind of warm up that front entryway. So we can pull him to the living room, and we can put this guy in the office.
Okay.
And this way, if we think about all this kind of stuff while we're in the warehouse, we don't have to make the warehouse people carry this back and forth 3 or 4 times while we're trying to make up our minds as to which piece is going to go into which space. So now we got these. Okay, so I had an idea about the desks that we put in here. We have these 2 little tiny dining tables that I think we can use as desks, and then we can have a matching set, one on each side. Because if you look at this plan, we've got 2 desks that are kind of opposite each other, and then the credenzas right here, there's a built-in whiteboard that's above that. So we're gonna make this look like very corporate-y back here, because during the COVID crisis, people need places to work in their homes because they're not going into their offices anymore. And so this could be a total coup for us. Can I give you 2 more 6 tags, and you can go mark off those, the bases for these guys. So this is our table storage area where we keep the tabletops. But because we only have 3,000 square feet in this particular office, we have to break down all of our tables because we don't have enough room to store everything in full, like broken down sections. So I'll have you go tag those. All right, so that gives us both of those. We've got the rug in this room. We got the rug in the living room. And now we need to go tag some desk chairs. Derek, while you're up there, since we're there, I'm gonna have you tag 2 on that tabletop that has the grid underneath it. And this is gonna be the, dining room, and then this is the glass for the dining room. All right, let's go look at some office chairs, shall we? So we literally run around in circles in the warehouse here, getting all of our stuff pulled together, making it look great. So we're gonna need 2 office chairs that go well with those little white desks, and then we're gonna need 6. If I can get 6, I'm so happy. So there's these super cool little tiny chairs. If you see these ones that are brown that are up here, they're really, really, really narrow, and you can actually scrunch those down to get 6 people to sit at like the smallest dining room table ever. And in this type of house where we are trying to appeal to a family of 4, being able to show that they can seat 6 at a dining room table is absolutely perfect. And that is the set of chairs that I wanted for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, can you mark those guys? And then I'm gonna do 1 more of those silver and white tables as an alternate for this dining area, just in case that gray one looks strange. All right, so now I gotta figure out what chairs he's gonna have. It's got to be a studded tool, but it's got to be cool. It's got to be hot looking. And I hate to break up sets of 4 because that makes me super sad, because then we don't have the chairs that we want when we actually want them. What do you see in sets of 2, Derek?
I mean, these can break up in 2, but it's white with a white top.
I don't mind that. We can break these? Yeah. Is this like multiple sets? We have a ton of these?
A ton of those.
Okay. And these will actually look really cute in that office. All right, sweet. And we'll do navy blue accessories in that room to tie all that black and white together. And then we need some nightstands for our beds. So we're gonna do a queen in the larger of the 2 bedrooms, and we need really skinny nightstands in here. And these are like the coolest nightstands. They're these weird like Art Deco, like somebody's dad built them in their shop, and they're the coolest things ever. So this is number 4. And then where do you keep the singles in this warehouse, Derek?
I think they're all right there.
Okay. Sweet. Oh, this guy's actually really cool. This is gonna be number 5 for our, is this guy single? This guitar pick shaped guy? Okay, sweet. He's gonna be number 5, and I didn't underline that, but now I did. Okay, and then we have a set of twin headboards. Sweet. Let's do that. Pretty sure that there is no window on that. So we're gonna send these guys with a set of twin headboards. And then will you mark us a set of 2 twins? Do you guys mark the mattresses? Okay. So we'll need 2 twins and a queen, and then frames for all of those as well. And then at that point, I think we're just down to outdoor. Got those guys, got that guy, got those guys, got that guy, got all of those guys plus an alternate. There's so many dots on this, it's fantastic. Let's go look at outdoor real quick like. Is that a feather in your cap, like quite literally?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I call it macaroni.
Thank you, sir. All right, so I don't know what I want back here. So I'm gonna bring an outdoor set, and then I'm gonna bring a soft set as well. So let's do, we're just gonna mark these because we know they're outdoor. 1 of those and 6 of these. 6. These guys work together, right? Okay. And then as an alternate, we're gonna do 4 of these guys, and will they grab the pads with it automatically? Okay. And then where do the coffee tables for these live? Yeah.
I'd have to make one.
Okay. We'll need 2 total. Are they back in here? Great. I think that's it for outdoor, yeah? Okay. All right, so while Derek starts pulling all those things and getting into the truck, I'm gonna start working on putting together our rooms. So now I've got my floor plan here. Thank you. So now I need to go through and actually pull my rooms, all the accessories that are gonna happen. So I do a whole bunch of tags that have the item on there because I'm gonna end up packing these into bins. And so this is where all the things from my living room are going to go. And then this is where all the things from my dining room are going to go. And this is super tedious and boring to watch. I'm sorry that I'm not very entertaining. So as we're going through and putting together these spaces, we need to make sure that they don't feel too matchy-matchy. If you walk into a house and it feels like the entire thing was decorated about 4 hours ago after a trip to IKEA or Pier 1 Imports, then we made a huge mistake because nobody lives like that. They don't just run out and buy a whole bunch of stuff all at once and then throw it into a house. That's just not realistic. So if you look at our accessory shelves, you're gonna notice that there's like things from the 1960s, or there's things from the 80s, or there's things that are from our contemporary. Those things are all purposely mixed up together because everybody lives in a house, and over a period of 10 or 15 or 20 years, they collect a bunch of stuff and they bring it together, and that's what makes houses look realistic. And so all of our houses are built on that same principle, that they all just kind of look realistic. Hey Derek, do you want to pull accessories or do you want to do that stuff first? Do you want to help with accessories? Okay. So now have you pull the dining room stuff, okay? Let's see. Yeah, chargers, we'll go gold in that living room.
White plates.
Yeah, white plates. And then let's come over here and take a look at the linens. We're probably gonna go with pink for one of the two bedrooms, and I haven't figured out which color we're gonna do in the other bedroom as of yet. But I think that it might be a blue bedroom. So that could actually be kind of cool. All right, so we'll do pink in the master, and then we'll do blue in the twin room. And then we'll do the twin room is kind of like an aqua-ish blue color like this. And then in our office, then we'll go with navy blue in our office, and that should be super cute. All right, so when we are building bedrooms, is this all we have in terms of linen boxes, boss? Is everything out? Okay. So when we're putting together one of these rooms, we go through and we have this little checklist over here. Check this out. So this is what we call the bed fixins checklist. And what we were finding is that when we got to the house, we'd find that like we would have a twin bedroom and we wouldn't have any king pillows for it because we forgot the king pillows. And so we made this little checklist that as we're putting together a twin bedroom, we can look at this checklist and be like, oh, this is all the crap that this room needs. So the pillows are the last thing that goes onto a bed. And so we're gonna pull 2 king size pillows for this twin room. And then we're gonna pull 2 standard size pillows for this twin room. And when these end up going into the bedroom, these are the last things that go in. And so they're the first things that go into the box. So we have to have dust ruffles for a twin size bedroom. So we'll put 2 of those in there. We have to have flat sheets for a twin size bedroom. We have to have mattress pads for a twin size bedroom. So I got bed skirts, mattress pads, sheets, and then I need my coverlet. And we said that we were gonna go with blue for this room. So I'm gonna pull 2 aqua twin size coverlets, which are this super cool color. So then we need some cool aqua pillows to go with it. And the great thing about having these things all right next to them is that I can experiment and I can pull these out and be like, is that the right color? And actually, like, that's pretty cool. I don't think we've ever even used these pillows in a room, but I'm gonna do an aqua and brown room. It's gonna be sweet. Never seen it done. I'm gonna be the first one. It's gonna be amazing. So we'll do aqua, and then it looks like we have kind of like a gray and a brown. So we'll make all those things work together. So that's really all that we need for this bedroom. And then we'll grab this and carry it over here. So now that I have this here, I can put it next to my twin room, and I know that I have to pull accessories that match with those colors. So now I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do it for my queen size bedroom, where we're gonna do kind of more pinks. And a queen size bedroom gets 4 standard size pillows. This is where it gets really tricky. You use a king size mattress pad for a queen and a king size sheet for a queen. King size mattress pad, king sheet, king coverlet, 4 standard pillows. All right, so now we move forward to the pink section back here. And so dare I say the words millennial pink. Is that a sin at this point? We'll use some of these, these are pillow shams. So those are king size. Let's see if we've got some queen size ones. They're all king. Well, we'll throw these in there, and if we use them, we use them. If we don't, we don't. But we're gonna pull in with these very cool pinkish. I think that all works together. That's kind of cute. That's too light. Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll throw in with this pink, we'll do a little bit of this like beigey tan color that's working with these pillows. And that way, all of it kind of gets pulled in together. So this will be a beigey tan / dusty rose colored room. And all the ladies will walk in and be like, oh my God, I love it, it's so awesome. It's exactly the emotion that we want that comes out of these houses. All right, so now we've got 2 of them. Now we need to do our living room, which we said we were thinking about doing in gold. So we're gonna pull a gold pillow for the sofa, and then we wanna try to bring in some neutrals, and in that room we had some blacks and some whites and some grays. So maybe if we did something like, try not to screw up our sets, because sets are invaluable when you're staging. This is the stuff that kills me. These are blue, and they should be in the blue section. These are not neutral. That's totally cheating. All right. Oh, that's perfect. All right, that guy. And then this guy, oh, he's cuter though. This is way cuter. Okay, so we're gonna do like black, white, and gold for this living room. And if you pull these together, how cute is that, right? Awesome. All right, so then we need 2 more white and blackish type pillows. So we're gonna do these, and then 2 more yellows. And so we're gonna pull these guys right here. So now we have like super smoking hot Goldilocks room, which is gonna be super cute. I'm gonna throw the office in with those 2 us. Excuse me, goodness. Ooh, those are better. So we have a really patterned blue, navy blue chair that's going into those. So I'd like to do a solid blue pillow on those that are navy blue, and these are solid. They just have a little bit of fringe, which keeps them interesting. So I'll pop those in there with them. Okay, because I start to forget where the heck we are, because this is a lot of stuff to wrap your brain around, I always go back to my floor plan and I say, okay, I got blue for the office, I got gold for the living room, I got pink and beige for the master, and I got aqua and brown for the twin room, and we're pulling gold into the dining room. So I would love gold napkins, that would be super cute. And then we need to pull a centerpiece for that dining room table, and I think this one is really cool. It almost looks like a gourd. All right, so there's that. And then we need to start to build a centerpiece for the living room. And I love these little gold guys. These are super cute. You're gonna pull me a pretty good size projector for the living room table. These are super cute. There's a lot of thought that goes into these, right? And then, awesome.
Too big.
No, I think he's perfect. And that's a great color too. I'm gonna pull me 2 reels for that. Those usually sit in the silver or black section. And then you've gotta love like National Geographics. Like a stack of National Geographics in a gold living room are always perfect. We'll try not to put the one out that says like global warming on the top. Maybe we'll say like, you know, the Grand Canyon. That'll be a little bit less evocative. Oh, this one's about caffeine, and everybody in Portland agrees about caffeine. So, and you could also substitute that for everybody in LA loves caffeine. Everybody in Seattle loves caffeine. How about just everybody loves caffeine? Except for me, it makes me barf because I already have enough energy as it is. All right, so we got a couple of things for those accessories. I would love to do a stack of books in there, and then some kind of a little book topper. So we're known for our book toppers. So when we have a stack of books that's going into a space, we'll do something like this where we'll put these books together, make sure that they're all kind of laid out the same way. And then as that stack of books comes together, then we'll just take this and we'll be like, that's gonna be the book topper. And so you get this weird little like, you know, it's a golden snail like on top of these books. So by the time we get there, we know exactly how we're gonna set this up. And so this is already set and ready to go. And it goes right here next to the number 1s. So they are good to go. The other thing that we love to do in these spaces is try to create something where children could be entertained. When kids have to go to open houses, they are dreadfully bored out of their gourds. And so if we can create something to give them entertainment while their parents are talking to the real estate agent, and if they are not nagging their parents the entire time that they're in this house, those kids are going to feel interested and the parents are not going to feel uncomfortable because the kids are just going after them constantly. So let's go see if we can find something to put in this bowl that kids could play with. So we have these just like massive bags of just like stuff, like, you know, a huge bag of golf balls, or it could be that they're balls of yarn or balls of string. Like I always am a huge fan of the balls of string. I think that always look really good together. And there we've got a bunch of balls of string. So we can mix those two together. That'll look gravy. Did I get this one? I got this one out of here, right? No, out of here. So many balls. I know for a fact that I'm gonna need pencils for my office. I don't know what my pencil holder is gonna be, but I'm gonna hold this out right now because pencils go in every office. So we'll put these in here, we'll throw these in the living room. And at this point, I think that our living room and our dining room, we have all the accessories that we need for this. We are good to go. We just need lamps. So we'll pull lamps after we do all of our accessories. So room number 3 is gonna be our kitchen. Kitchens pretty much always have the same standard stuff in them. We try to always have some kind of spatula or utensil that goes into these kitchens. We try to always put a cookbook. I love this book because it's called Play With Your Food. And literally like every single, here, come with me, I'll show you in here. Every single picture that's in this book is just like stuff that this artist has gone through and like made these pieces of food into different faces and objects. Like a turnip that's a mouse. It's so cute. Who knew? Every single kitchen that we stage gets an antique radio. So when I was a kid growing up, we always had a radio in our kitchen, and it was always one of these radios that like you would turn it on and it would take like, I don't know, 6 minutes for it to like warm up, for the tubes to get warm before you started actually hearing sound come out of it. And even to this day, we still have an antique radio in our kitchen. And so every single house that we stage gets an antique radio. And like, I think this guy would be absolutely perfect for this particular house. Super cute. We usually put our brochures next to it so that you can tell it's a Spade and Archer project. It's one of those things that just says like, this is us. We're gonna need one more like little accessory for this kitchen, so let's go see what we've got. I'm kind of loving this milkshake maker. Like, how cool is that? Wouldn't you want to have that in your kitchen where you could just make milkshakes? Because like, honestly, you don't really need anything else to live except for milkshakes. So it's good, it's very good. All right, so number 4, the next one is this queen room right here. And if you remember, we pulled dusty rose and beige for that. So now we have to find some accessories that are dusty rose. So we try to usually break up the bedrooms with the nightstand so that one of the nightstands is a little bit more masculine and one nightstand is a little bit more feminine. So on the masculine side, we're gonna do like these kind of rocks and maybe some books that are over on that side. So, we've got the Da Vinci Code. Who doesn't love the Da Vinci Code? I mean, that's just, your basic bitch 101. It's fantastic. You're gonna love it. And so we'll throw some pink things on there and then we'll do like, some pink rocks on top of there, and that's kind of like our most masculine version of pink. Maybe we'll pull some brown into that too. So then for the more feminine side, maybe we'll do some string and where did you go? This is like the Dunkin' Donuts thermos. We are not going to put that into this house, but I would really love to someday. All right, so maybe we'll do a trifecta of vases, and in this trifecta, when we're pulling together these vases, what we consider to be called a trifecta is that we take 3 things that are similar but divergent. And so in this case, we're doing 3 things that are pink. They are all made out of glass, but they are all different shapes. And so these 3 things kind of relate to each other. So we can put them together as a set, and we'll call that a trifecta. We try not to have like, this would not qualify as a trifecta because this thing is not enough matching with these other 2 things, but this one is because this is ceramic and that's glass. So visually, these 3 things kind of talk to each other. So now we've got these, and I want to try to add a little bit of beigey brownness into this so that we can have some of those more masculine hints coming out in one of the sides of this bad boy too. So I keep looking at this buffalo who is like screaming at me. He's like, he really wants to come to this house and he wants to be a part of the pink room. So we'll add the buffalo to that too. And this kind of super cool bowl that has, it almost looks like it was like stitched back together like Frankenstein. This was definitely somebody's mom, like took a ceramics class because she had just retired and she brought this home and she was like, look, James, I made this bowl for you. And James was like, oh my God, I love it. It's so fantastic. And 2 years later, ended up at the thrift store and we bought it. And so we're always looking for things that have some kind of a personality to it. These are the raw wool nibs that Pendleton uses when they are putting together their wool blankets. This is like what actually comes off the sheep when they shear them. And we'll use these as fillers. And it's just such a beautiful, like nice texture. It's not like you would ever have that in your house, but in home staging, it works really, really great. And I love these things. So we're going to bring those into this house as well. All right, so for the bathroom, every bathroom gets pretty much the same thing. And so we want the bathroom to have some kind of a soap dispenser. And I really like these little guys. These are super cute. Now you wanna use that one? I do not wanna use that one. All right, so we're gonna go with a silver soap dispenser up here. And then we're gonna do these silver Q-tips and a silver cotton ball. So these are all coordinated together. These go together. And then we need to pull towels for this bad boy as well. So we have to make sure that we get silly things like we have to have a shower curtain. It has to have rings to hang it up. We have to have some towels that will go in there. And we need to get towels in all the various sizes. Inevitably, we end up having more hand towels than everything else. And so now we've got enough towels to make sure this bathroom can get staged properly. All right, so now I've got all the stuff for our bathroom. Now we're gonna move on. We're gonna do the twin room, which is these really, really cool aqua color, and we're gonna try and pull things together that match with that aqua and that brown. And we have a nightstand that has 2 levels on it. So as we start going through, we can start pulling these things that have kind of these more aqua-ish colors to it. And stuff that I love. That looks really awesome. So we've got these 2 items that relate to each other, and I'd love to find a 3rd piece that I can tie into with these. And I'm looking, oh, that's kind of interesting. I'm gonna pull this with me. So this makes it a lot easier when you're trying to figure out like, hey, wait a second, is that actually the right color? Like this is totally off, not the right color. Doesn't work in the slightest. But if you have it with you, if you're trying to pull while you're looking at it, it becomes a whole lot easier. Still too blue, but look at that guy. That guy's starting to go. That's gonna be fantastic. That's gonna be fantastic. And this I know is gonna go into our office. So I'm gonna pull that aside for later on. And that guy can go for sure. There we go. All right, so we've got some things. And then we're gonna go look at some filler and see if we can't find something to fill these up, since we've got a bunch of choices to go off of in here. So we've got this cool little bowl. We want to try to put something inside of it. Those can go into the office, but those are not going to work here. It's a very precise color, this blue. Nope. Also got brown too, so I can supplement with that as well. Aha! Right when I say that is when I get some actual brown stuff. So this is more of the natural raw wool. This is actual alpaca. And you can actually feel the oilness of the animal itself. So we'll pull those and have that come with us too. Okay, so then I wanted to try and pull some stuff for the office. I want to do one more thing. I want to see if we've got a brown throw blanket to go to pull that in just a touch more. We've got these sweet brown shams that'll help us a little bit. And we don't have double sets of brown throw blankets at the moment, so we will skip that. It was a good idea, but it didn't work. All right, so wanted to have just a touch more brown to be able to pull into this space. And I think we can do a brown book. And we have a blue book that's already over there. And then this little guy always oh yeah, this little horse is even cool. Oh no, wait, look at this moose. What kid wouldn't want to have like the long-legged moose inside of his room? How cool is that? So we'll pull that over and put that in. This is a pretty cute little room at this point. I like it. All right, so we have that navy blue, this guy, this little tray that we're gonna use in the office, and we can put some cool stuff on it. Like we can do a blue vase collection. This looks like a little apothecary shop or something that like whoever works in this office like works in this cool little apothecary shop, and they pull out these little bottles and make them look sweet. That's darling. I love it. All right. So we'll pull this over. Then I had these blue marbles, and I was thinking that we could have something that might be the right size to put this much stuff into so that this can be one of the decorations. Too big. I'm so bummed. I like that guy though. Ooh, how about this guy? Oh, you know what? This guy's gonna be one of our pencil holders, and this will be our other pencil holder. So now we've got these pencil holders in the office. We have to have something to put in them. And so coming over I'm grabbing a stack of pencils, which always looks nice and organized on a desk and adds a little pop of color, because who doesn't love working with their Ticonderoga number 2? It's not gonna happen for me. There it goes. All right, so there's our first set. Remember, this office has 2 desks in it. You have to make sure that his and hers both have equal treatment when it comes to the pencils. So this one's cooler in that, like, you can fan those bad boys out. So that's kind of cool. All right, so we got those. We're still looking for something to put these marbles into, and I bet you that we just might find it in the white section, because we've got this black low boy that's gonna go in there. And so if we take something like this, we can take a little dish like this guy and pour him in. How cute is that? That's darling, I love it. So pack it back up in there and then send that off on its way. And then, since we're doing a lot of animals in here, we'll do like this little guy, the llama and the elephant together. And then we'll get a set of some blue books and some white books. When I'm building book stacks, I like to try and make it so that they are a variation of sizes, so that we're going to pull these 3 very divergent sizes, and then we're going to intersperse these with white books so that you can see a changing of size as it goes up. And then we get this very cool look of like blue and white, blue and white, blue and white. So that by the time it's done, you get something like that, which is kind of cute. What do you think? Huh? You like it? Me too. All right, fantastic. Good. Okay, so we'll pull him over there. We need some kind of typewriter for this office, which is probably not a sentence that you hear muttered every day, that we need a typewriter. So this is a cool typewriter. I like this guy. We end up putting a script in these. It's a script from a movie called The Maltese Falcon. And The Maltese Falcon took place in San Francisco. And the first time I read that book, The Maltese Falcon, it's a book by Dashiell Hammett, I was living at 891 Post Street. And as I'm reading this book, the main character, Sam Spade, comes home to my apartment. And I'm reading this book, and he lives at 891 Post Street. I'm reading this book, and I'm like, what is going on? And the name of his company is called Spade and Archer Detective Agency. And his partner, Miles Archer, is killed in the first paragraph of the book. But as he's coming back, he lives in this building, and I decided, like, this is like 25 years ago. I'm like, if I ever own my own company, I'm going to name it Spade and Archer. And so that's where the name of the company comes from. So we put a typewriter in every single house, and then we throw 1 page from the script for the Maltese Falcon into it, and that is one of our many Easter eggs that we do in every house. Now we've got this like creative side in one of this. We need to add something that's like more logical. So let's say that he's a writer, but she's like an accountant. So she has this check writing machine. Now I know that it seems like this seems really silly to put this like very vintage office equipment into these offices. Our choices are, we either use vintage office equipment or we do fake computers. And to me, a fake computer says, you are stupid enough to fall for this, to your buyers. Vintage electronic equipment like typewriters or check writers says, you're smart enough to know that this isn't really modern technology anymore, but you know this is where your computer would go. So it makes our buyer be in on the joke instead of the joke being on them. And so I feel like it's more respectful to their intelligence, for lack of a better word, than using a bunch of fakery in these spaces. You'll notice that we don't have any fake mattresses. There's no fake plants. There is no fake computers, no fake TV screens. Everything we use in a house is real. So now that we've got this office kind of put together, now we start pulling artwork to go into these spaces. And really what that comes down to is literally putting artwork around this entire thing. Oh, that's where look at, Derek is so awesome. He already pulled all of our bathroom stuff. I didn't have to do it. He's so good. All right, so we're gonna go through, we're gonna pull artwork for this entire space. So I'm gonna need some aqua, some pink, some yellow, some blue, and then a bunch of neutrals. So let's go see what we've got, come on. This is like one of my absolute favorite pieces of art, and it is gonna go in the living room. So this piece of art, this was, I'm gonna get underneath some light so you can see it. This was in a basement of a house that one of our clients bought. And they're like, we have this trash down here, we come and get it. And it was just like a raw canvas. It didn't have any frame or anything. And one of our guys built this like shadow box frame. It has like a 1/4-inch reveal all the way around it. And then took some baseboard, like literally this is baseboard that you would put into like a kitchen or something, and built a frame out of it. And this like throwaway piece of art that somebody probably spent a lot of time doing ended up becoming like one of my absolute favorite pieces. And what's interesting about it is that it has gold leaf behind the paint. And so when sunlight hits this bad boy, it lights up, and like it's so sparkly and so beautiful. It makes me so happy. So this is gonna be the main piece of art in the living room of this house. Is what we would call the TV. So this is gonna go right over the credenza, and then the vintage projector will go underneath it, and it tells people like, this is where your TV would go. So it's what we would do instead of using a fake television set, which I think is personally kind of tacky. So we had this like lovely pink space, and then we have a really cool blue space, and then we have a black and white, or sorry, a blue and white space. So I'm looking through all these gigantic sets. Oh, how cool are these? So for our blue space, which is that office, we have these set of, they're really, really cool, like hand painted pieces that are ridiculously heavy. So I wanna make sure that I always have enough artwork that when the designer is going through and putting this space together, that they'll have choices. We want them to be able to choose which piece they want. So as we're going through, I want to try and find each of those like great pieces. Oh, do you remember that room, the master bedroom, where it had that dusty rose and then it had bits of brown in it? Look at this bad boy. It's literally dusty rose and brown. How happy am I? So I'm going to pull that aside, and then I grab one more so I can make one trip when I'm going out there. Let's see, what makes me happy? This is a little tiny blue piece which might go in our office, since we've got a lot of blue that's going into there. And there's a little corners that are in there. So this is that like dusty rose and brown bedroom, and we've got those linens that are kind of pulled over there, and then you've got this piece of art that's going with it, and these things are coordinating so well together. There's a reason why we do this color blocking in these houses, why we only have one color story per room. When our buyers are going out to look at this house on this particular day, they might go out and see 7 different houses that day. And in each one of those 7 houses, there's going to be 10 rooms. And so they're going to see 70 rooms that day. And so when they get home, let's just say that it's Jack and Jill. Okay, they're buying a house together. Jill turns to Jack and she goes, do you remember that house? And it had that bedroom that had wood floors, and the walls were gray, and it had a window in it. And he's gonna be like, I don't really remember that house. And she's like, well, there's like a smaller room that's next to it, and it has a closet and a door that was painted white. Do you remember that? And he's like, yeah, I don't really remember that either. So when she's trying to communicate to him which house she's talking about, and he can't remember, the conversation just kind of dwindles into nothingness. But if she's walked into our house and she goes, do you remember the house that had the dusty rose master bedroom? And he's like, yeah, totally. She's like, well, I think that the navy blue office, that should be a guest bedroom for us. And he's like, I absolutely agree. So it gives them a way to label and talk about each of these rooms without us putting up a sign that says like, master bedroom number 1, by having it be just this very easy color to identify. We're literally like kicking them in the jaw with the information and giving them a way to talk about our houses. If they're talking about our houses, they're buying our houses. All right, let's get some more artwork. I love this because it's gold. This is like, I think if we look at the number on the back of this guy, this is art number 272, which means this is the 272nd piece of art that I bought for this entire company. And I think we have something like 5,000 pieces of art at this point. It's an awful lot. And it all makes me super happy. But when I run into these pieces that I have had for a long time and there was a point where like I was doing everything myself, and those pieces make me really happy. They make me super glad when I run into them, which I know is super cheesy, but it's what makes me happy. So what was the color of our, oh yeah, we've got like that aqua blue that we're gonna put into. Holy cow, I'm so excited right now. I just found like another dusty rose piece of art, which I had no idea even existed. This one was painted. This one was painted by our director in Portland, and he actually did this on one of our canvases, and then our Portland team actually built the frame for it. And it's dusty rose and black, and it's super cute, and I love it. And so this can totally work for this space as well. Just gonna leave that right there. That's all right. And then we've got this additional navy blue piece that can work in the office. And then we've got this additional gold piece. This one has gold foil on it as well. So 2 gold foil pieces going into this house, which makes me super happy. I need to find some brown and teal for that room right there. And then we need to pull some neutrals. Okay, so we have these sets that are called series, and I love these. This particular series is all national parks that are throughout the entire country. And so they're just these really simple black frames that are framed around these national parks. And each one of these national parks just happens to have that teal blue color in the sky. And so we're going to take these and use these bad boys to stage that kids' room, which is perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So not that you'll really ever need to carry massive boxes of sets and pictures, but I love this. So this is just a wooden box that we had built, and it has these little racks that go inside of them, and all of these series that we use, they actually fit down inside of these boxes and stack perfectly so that you can carry a bunch all at once. The coolest thing about these is that this handle is mounted an inch higher than this handle, so you can stack them next to each other and the handles don't hit each other, which was one of my innovations, which makes me super happy. I doubt that anybody in the world even notices that it's like that, but it makes it super easy so that you can stack these things in the truck and not end up with broken pictures. And the reason why we do this is because before we did this, we ended up with a lot of broken artwork. So while I love to have series and small pieces to be able to go into houses, I think that those are great and super useful. I also always want to have some piece of large format art that I can stick into a room. And so we have this very like aqua piece that has all these different colors in here that could work really well in that twin room that's got that aqua background for those sheets. So we'll stack that here. And if we take this bad boy and we look at this, in comparison with that, we can see that like that is absolutely working. So, which is cool because if we end up using this and the national parks, those national parks have all the colors of them well, so they'll start to pull this in as well, which makes me super happy. All right, so now I think we just need some neutral series type stuff. And let's look all the way down here and see. This set always kind of gets neglected because it's so far in the back, but this particular house has gray walls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so I'm going to bring these guys, which are all in white frames, which when you've got gray walls, these work fantastically well because the white frame like totally pops off those gray walls. And they look fantastic. Our last piece we have to pull for this is going to be our lighting. So lighting is incredibly important in these houses. Walmart did a huge study back in the early 1990s around the effect of buying and natural light on spaces. And what they found is that products that had natural light on them outsold products that did not have natural light 2 to 1 in any store that they put them in. So we always make sure that our houses have lamps. Our lamps are put on timers. They turn on at 8 o'clock in the morning and turn off at 8 o'clock at night, so the house is always well lit when people go into them. So we have these, it's a gold living room, and we just happen to have gold floor lamps because, you know, who doesn't love a good gold floor lamp? So we'll pull those. and put those out here. And then I want to make sure that we have lamp shades to go with those. And these look lovely for that particular room. And then we take these guys and we mark them so that we know exactly which room they're going into. Because again, we want to do all of our thinking here in the warehouse and all of our moving out on the job site. So these are going to go into room number 1. Now, this is one of the dangers of doing this, is that this Sharpie, if it touches this lampshade, it's never coming off, man. It's never gonna come off. So you have to make sure that your Sharpie, and I learned this the hard way from putting Sharpie on like couches and lampshades, or even worse, like when you cut your finger and you don't have time to do anything about it, and then you bleed all over your lampshades. Blood does not come out of lampshades, just so you know. And you shouldn't ever have to know that. I'm kind of digging these guys. These don't actually have lampshades that go on them. Hey, Derek, can you pull 3 matching light bulbs for these guys? These use just like Edison bulbs, and they're super sparkly and fun, and they're 3 different heights, and they come across really cool. All right, look at these. So we've got this dusty rose master bedroom, and we have these really cool beigey lamps that would look perfect with those. And they're like a little bit the same, but a little bit different from each other. That when we put them next to each other, but they're still separated by a bed, they're still gonna look like more handcrafted and not so like just immediately store-bought. See how the dark brown of that lamp is starting to pull in the dark brown from these different things that are this blue and brown in this whole space. This is all coming together to make like this really cohesive, cool looking room. Naked prey. That's great for a kid's room, Justin. Good job. All right, so we've got those lamps, and then we still need lamps for the office. All right, so we've got, I think we're gonna do some white floor lamps in this room, which we actually have. Try and pull these down without killing myself, which would be awesome. And this is room number 6. Derek, I don't have any pillows for the outside. All right, so we're gonna use these pillows. I like the, ooh, wait a second. There's these square ones, but there's like lumbar ones. You want these? So if I can find 4 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, yours. Excellent. Didn't really need to do that, but it made it more entertaining for you. Cool. So at this point, everything has been picked and pulled and the project gets released. And releasing means that I have given it to my warehouse crew, and the warehouse crew is going to go through and they're going to pack up everything and put all those little pieces into these little bins and mark each one of them with a number. Tomorrow, when we get to the project, we're going to put a number on each room, like a big printed out number, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll put the floor plan on the front door. And as each person picks up a bin or a piece of furniture, they're going to look to see what that number is. They're going to know exactly where it's going to go so that it gets put down in the right place the first time. When we first opened the company, it would take us about 25 hours with 5 people to stage an entire house. Because of these systems that we've implemented, we can do 3 people, 8 hours, fully staged house, done. Just because we're more organized than we used to be, and it makes me super happy.